It happens in the quietest moments. You are sitting across from someone you have known for 30, 40, maybe 50 years. The same face you have awakened to for decades. You share a history. You share a family. You share a home filled with a lifetime of accumulated objects and inside jokes. And yet, a strange and terrifying thought floats to the surface. I do not know who you are anymore, or perhaps more quietly, I am not sure you know who I am. This is not the dramatic fracture of an affair. It is not a great betrayal. This is something slower, quieter, and in its own way, just as profound. It is the slow drift of continents, measured not in earthquakes, but in millimeters per year. Until one day, you look up and see a vast, uncharted ocean between you. Sociologists have a name for it: gray divorce. It is the surprising rise in separation among those over the age of 50. But to call it a trend feels too clinical. At its heart, this is a story of human architecture. It is a story of what happens when the scaffolding that held a relationship together is taken down, and what remains is the raw, unfamiliar landscape of just two people. To understand why this happens, we have to look at the business of marriage. For most of a long marriage, you are rarely just a couple. You are co-CEOs of a bustling enterprise called the family. Your conversations were logistics. Your shared goals were practical: the mortgage, the college tuition, the weddings, the care for aging parents. You were partners in a massive project, and the project provided a script. How was the meeting? Did you call the plumber? What time is the recital? The script gave you roles. It gave you lines. It gave you a sense of moving forward together, even if you were speaking more about tasks than truths. You were a high-functioning team. Then, two seismic events converge. First, the children leave. The empty nest arrives not just in the rooms of your home, but in the center of your conversation. The daily updates, the shared worries, the proud boasts, the central material of your connection, diminish. And at nearly the same time, one or both of you retire. This brings us to what psychologists call retired husband syndrome. This is not a medical condition, but a social one. It is a sudden, constant togetherness that highlights a stark truth. Without the separate spheres of work and active parenting, you may have lost the art of simply being together. You are left with two people who have spent a lifetime evolving, but often evolving in parallel, not in tandem. He may have become quieter, inwardly focused after leaving a world of external demands. She may be bursting with plans for travel and freedom after years of coordinating everyone else's lives, or vice versa. The point is, the personas you built for the world, the provider, the nurturer, the manager, begin to soften. And underneath, you might find two strangers who grew apart in the very process of faithfully fulfilling their duties. The phrase, "we have nothing to talk about anymore," is not a statement of fact. It is a cry of grief. It means the script we wrote together is finished, and I am afraid we do not know how to write a new one. The silence at the dinner table isn't empty because you lack words. It is full of the unspoken question: who are we now? This crossroads does not have to lead to an ending. It can, instead, lead to a second beginning. But it requires a courageous shift from being partners in a project to being companions in discovery. The work is not to fix what was broken, but to rediscover what was always there, buried under the beautiful, demanding rubble of the life you built. It begins with a subtle internal reframing. See the silence not as a void, but as a space that is no longer filled with the urgent noise of raising a family. It can be frightening, this space, but it is also fertile ground. Here are 3 specific ways to plant new seeds in that ground. The first is to reintroduce curiosity. You likely assume you know everything about this person, their habits, their opinions, their reactions. But the person who retired, who became an empty nester, is not the same person they were at 40. They have changed. Approach them as if you are meeting an intriguing stranger at a party. Ask questions that have no logistical purpose. What is a dream you had at 25 that you never got to? What does a perfect useless day look like to you now? What are you curious about these days? Listen not to solve, but to discover. You might be surprised by who is sitting across from you. The second is to cultivate active novelty, instead of falling into the passive routine of shared television, which only compounds the sense of parallel existence. Seek a small, shared challenge. Take a cooking class for a cuisine neither of you knows. Learn basic bird watching and go for slow walks with a guidebook. Volunteer together for a cause that is new to both of you. The shared experience of being beginners, of fumbling and learning together, creates a new kind of bond. It generates fresh material for conversation, not about the past, but about the present moment you are co-creating. The third is to rediscover solo pursuits. This sounds counterintuitive, but constant togetherness can suffocate a marriage. We need air to burn. When you each have a domain of your own, a workshop, a book club, a volunteer role, an art class, you bring new energy back into the relationship. You become people with something to share again, rather than two people trying to generate meaning from a closed system. This phase is not about reigniting a frantic, youthful passion. It is about building a deeper, more conscious companionship. It is about looking at this person and choosing them again. Not out of obligation, not for the kids, not for the mortgage, but out of a genuine interest in the individual they have become. It is about writing a new script where the lines are questions, not assumptions, and the plot is exploration, not management. You may find yourself sitting in that quiet, looking across the table and wondering if it is too late. It is not. Extend a hand, not as a co-manager of a life now past, but as a fellow traveler in this wide open, uncertain, and potentially beautiful new landscape. This is the relational work of the modern elder. It is the courageous undertaking of trading a shared history for a shared present. It is understanding that the end of one marriage, the marriage built on duty, can make space for the beginning of another. If this reflection on the quiet transitions of long companionship speaks to you, you are welcome to join us in this space of understanding at the Modern Elder.